Welcome to Riding Counsel with Rich Jaffe, where the open road meets expert advice. I'm Richard Jaffe, an attorney and biking enthusiast, and this is the podcast where we dive into the world of motorcycling, safety, culture, charitable giving, and riding right. So, whether you're a seasoned rider or just getting started, let's talk bikes, the road, and everything in between. Let's ride! Hello, everybody out there in ridingcounsel.com podcast land. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are a new listener, thank you very much for joining us. And if you are a repeat listener, thanks a lot for coming back. And if you like what you hear on this podcast, please do me a favor. Like it, subscribe, share, tell all your friends. I am Rich Jaffe. I'm your host for ridingcounsel.com. And I am a motorcycle enthusiast. I'm a podcaster, and I am a personal injury lawyer. And I represent people who are injured as a result of the negligence of others. And usually these people are on a motorcycle. So things seem to mesh with my podcast and what I do. And today I wanted to bring you some great information because we have a lot of legal information on all my other episodes. Some stuff about depositions, some stuff about how to pick a lawyer, all kinds of topics. I also have stuff about MotoGP. I have other stuff about how to maintain your motorcycle. I got all kinds of episodes. But today, I want to try to get some information from somebody who is much more knowledgeable on the subject than I am on lemon law, because I get a lot of questions from a lot of you talking about the lemon law. How do I make a lemon law claim? What is the lemon law? What makes it a lemon? Stuff like that. So I brought on an extremely knowledgeable guest about lemon law, and her name is Jackie. Instead of me saying all these amazing things about her, because there's a lot, I wanted to give her the chance to introduce herself. So Jackie, who are you? What do you do? What do you like? Give me everything. Give me the 411. Who are you?
Hi, Richard. Thank you for having me on. So, my name is Jackie Harriet. I am an attorney at Kimmel and Silverman. I've been with the firm for 28 years. I'm licensed to practice law in 8 states, including New York. So, our specialty in our firm is lemon law, which includes motorcycles, cars and motorcycles. So, that's what we do here. And I've been doing it a very long time.
Wow. So that's great. And I'm happy to have you on because there's a lot of people who are asking me, like, I have to bring it in for repair so much. I just want to give it back. Can you explain what is the lemon law? Tell us what it is.
Sure. Well, the lemon law was designed as a statute that was designed to protect consumers when they buy defective goods, specifically cars, motorcycles, and New York also would cover motorhomes. So it protects you when you have to keep taking your vehicle back when you keep having problems. Specifically, I see in motorcycles, unfortunately, the bikes seem to sit out of service for very long periods of time, which includes almost the whole riding season for most of our clients. So it's an extremely frustrating process when it's not a car, but still you want it for the nice riding season. And half the time it's sitting in the dealer and they just can't either get the parts or figure out even what's wrong with it. And most of the time it's very serious safety issues where you can't ride the bike
Hmm.
without, being in jeopardy.
So manufacturers have a responsibility to have the parts on hand. Is that what you're saying?
Well, so during COVID, they all blamed they couldn't get the parts. But
Yeah.
yes, the basis for the statute is to make repairs done in a reasonable amount of time. So they have to be able to do that. So if that bike sits in the shop or even a car for an unreasonable amount of time, they have essentially violated the lemon law. And
Hmm.
they have to either replace your bike, give you your money back, or potentially if you prefer to keep the bike, you can take a cash settlement.
So is this in all cases of a repair? Like, let's say, for instance, somebody's in a motorcycle accident and their bike is wrecked and let's say the frame is bent and they have to call the manufacturer for a new part of the frame to repair it. And it's taken like 3, 4, 5 months to get that part from the manufacturer, despite the fact that it's a pretty modern bike, in say it's newer than 2020. I mean, would something like that qualify as a lemon law case?
So unfortunately, accidents would not. So it has to be a manufacturing defect. So if you're in an accident and they just can't get the parts to fix it, that's not a lemon law violation. It has to be a factory defect, something that would be covered under the warranty, would
Hmm.
be considered a lemon law claim.
I see. So it's a warranty. It's really a warranty claim, and it has to be like from the factory, something that went wrong from the factory.
Yeah, so if you bought a used bike that had no warranty, you could never claim a lemon law case or a breach of warranty case. It would have to be a new bike or a used bike that was still covered under the factory warranty when you purchased it.
So this sounds like a federal law. So it pretty much covers all the states, or is it only some states that are covered by the lemon law?
So each state has their own specific lemon law, and then there's a statute called the Magnuson Moss Warranty Act, which is a federal statute that would apply throughout the states. But no, each state has their own lemon law and what you have to prove in order to show a violation of that statute.
I see. So it's not that each state's law can somehow supersede the federal law, or let's say in a less stringent way, right? I mean, it has to be the state laws have to be at least as stringent as the federal law.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what, let's say somebody, or how about like something about how many times it has to go in for repairs? Like somebody was telling me that they brought in their motorcycle and the same thing kept going wrong. And this is the third time they brought it in. And, they're getting it repaired in a reasonable amount of time, maybe 5 days or something like that. But they're sick of bringing the bike in for the same thing over and over. I mean, could that be a lemon?
Yeah, so the catch under the lemon law is it's not as easy as people think it is to prove a violation. So number one, it has to happen within the first 18,000 miles or 24 months. It also has to be a substantial impairment. So it has to be a substantial impairment to the use value or safety. So not every problem is going to fall under the lemon law. You also have to give them a reasonable opportunity to repair it, which is considered 4 times, or the bike or your car is out of service for 30 days.
Hmm. Okay. And when somebody brings a lemon law case, they usually bring it in state court or federal court, or how does that happen?
State court. You won't
Oh,
you won't meet the amount in controversy most of the time in federal court unless you have a super expensive car. But motorcycles really are never going to get you there. So it would be a state court case.
okay. Well, you'd be surprised because there's some Harley Davidsons actually that just came out this year that are over 100,000. So,
Oh my goodness,
um,
really? My
yeah.
husband has two Harleys, so he so
What
this
does he
is all
ride?
interesting to him
What
as
does he ride? Do you know what he rides?
so he has a very old bike that's about 30 years old. I believe it's a Softail, and his
Uh,
new bike is a Dana Wide Glide. Is that what it's called? It's like
a Dyna? Yeah, I
Dina
think it's
Wide
a Dyna.
Glide.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right, that's excellent. Oh, I hope
Yes,
to get to ride with him sometime.
yes.
So,
I've
oh,
been on it a few times. I'm a little nervous on it.
oh, you hop on the back, right? You
I
hop
do,
on the back.
I
Oh,
do.
that's great. So, are you anywhere near Ocean City? You going to go to Ocean City Bike Week?
Probably not.
All
Probably,
right, all right.
yeah.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad of a scene. It's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you can ride down by Assateague. You can see the horses and stuff like that. So,
He
um,
might go. I get a little nervous on the highways. I don't know.
all right. So let's say somebody comes to you. Oh, first of all, okay, let's get some information from you if you don't mind. I can't believe I didn't ask this at the beginning. Okay, let's say somebody says, I think I got a lemon law case. I'm listening to this and they're like, That's exactly the problem." What do they do? Like, how do they get in contact with you? I mean, this is what you do for work, right? This is what you do for a
Right.
living. So tell us how do we get in contact with you?
Sure. So there's two ways they can reach us on the web under lemonlaw.com or our 800 number, which is 1-800 lemon law. So if they call in or they go to our web, they would be put in contact with a client services person who they kind of weed out and let them know whether they think it's something we can help them with. And then it would come to an attorney to
Hmm.
handle from that point on.
I mean, and how big is your firm? Is it just you, or you have a few attorneys there?
Oh, no, yeah, so we probably have right now, I would say about 12 to 15 attorneys.
Mm.
And like I said, I'm licensed in 8 states and there's attorneys that are licensed in other states than me. So we do practice all over the United States.
I mean, there's got to be a lot of lemon law claims to keep you guys in business. I mean, it's not a small firm. It's not like a one or two person operation over there.
No.
You guys probably have support staff. You have paralegals that keep you going, secretaries that keep you going. So you're talking a lot of people. There must be a lot of lemon law cases out there.
There are thousands and thousands. People are always shocked when they ask me what I do, thinking it's going to be some small firm, and it's not. I have
Mhm.
three paralegals, and I have an associate who helps me. And
Wow.
that's just me. So it's a very big firm. You wouldn't believe how many people need our help. We get hundreds of calls a week for people that need our assistance.
That's just unbelievable.
Right.
And if I may, I'm not asking how much you actually earn, but how is it that a client who wants your services, how do they pay you? Do they pay you by credit card? Do they pay you by check, or is it something different?
So the good thing about these cases, it makes it affordable for clients to reach out to us and us to handle their cases. So it's fee shifting. So it's very untraditional. Most people don't understand it. We don't have them sign a fee agreement because we're not taking part of their settlement. So the manufacturers, as a punishment to them for not voluntarily complying with these statutes, have to pick up the consumer's attorney's fees. So they don't pay us anything. We get paid directly by the manufacturers, and clients don't always seem to understand that. They think we're working for them, the manufacturers, but it's actually quite opposite. We're
Mhm.
suing them and working against them.
Yeah, yeah. So, about these cases that you litigate, I'm sure a lot go to the court. Maybe they go to, conferences and things like that. But how many do you think actually go to trial?
So I've been with the firm 28 years and I've tried four jury trials. So
Hmm.
not many. Most
Okay.
manufacturers get to a point where cost, analysis, where they realize that, our bill could be 40, $50,000 when the case could settle for $10,000
Hmm.
if we take the
Hmm.
case to trial. So usually most of them do end up settling. Some of the other attorneys may have had a few more trials than I have, but it gives you a sense of how often. I mean, most of these cases do settle. And
I,
I can settle a case in 2 weeks
wow.
after opening it. Yeah. Yeah, I have very good programs set up with most of the manufacturers, so I can settle a case very quickly. In the
Well, I guess that's the difference between going to somebody like yourself and your firm versus somebody who says, I'd like to try a lemon law case. I think I'm going to go try it. I mean, me personally, I do motorcycle accident law, and there's no way I'm going to try to take on a lemon law case. And I tell people, they get upset at me, but I'm like, look, I'm not the person to do this. I mean,
Right.
go to somebody who knows what they're doing. And I guess that's a real difference. If they come to you, they're going to get results, and they're going to get results pretty darn quick in most circumstances.
Right. And we've had people who've done that. Well, I used my personal attorney who did my injury case, and I didn't get anywhere with them, and then they give the case to us and I get the case resolved within a month just because I
Yeah,
have all the connections. I've been dealing with the same people, the same attorneys for almost the 28 years that I've been doing this. So they know we know what we're doing. They know we're not going to go away very easily either.
right, right. So, I mean, there is a difference, and they really should go to you if they have some sort of lemon law case or even a question. I'm sure you have, email addresses and things like that on your website. They can ask questions.
Yes.
And by the way, if you can ask me questions at writingcounsel.com about lemon law, and I'd be more than happy to get you in touch with Jackie, just in case that works better for anybody out there. Um, but let's get back to discussing a little bit more about the lemon law. People will say, I don't know what I did with, some of the paperwork. For instance, my maintenance records, I did have it maintained, but now I don't know where the heck the maintenance records are. Or, I did some maintenance myself and I don't have records. I mean, does that come into play at all?
It's so important. I always tell my clients it's as if you're in an injury or accident. So your invoices, your maintenance records, or your medical records from the doctor. So a lot of people don't think they're ever going to need them, but you know what? If you go, and even if you don't think you don't need it, for instance, just stick
Mhm.
them in an envelope, stick them in your car, stick them in your glove box. If it's a motorcycle, obviously you don't be transporting paper all around, but just save them. You just never know. Before I start doing this work, I never thought to save any of that stuff. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, I probably have owned 7 or 8 lemons myself.
Mhm.
So I realized over the years that is really important. Now, you can always try to get copies of it, but the dealers tend to not want to cooperate after they realize what you're doing. So it's really important. Keeping the records is really, really important. It makes it a lot easier to handle these cases for people.
Yeah, I'd imagine like once a lemon law, claim is made, all of a sudden, maybe like the higher ups kind of spring in action. Like, we don't want this to happen. We want some happy customers. We don't want to start paying. This is crazy. Where's the part? We got to find the part. They make some calls and they get the part, and all of a sudden, everybody's problems all go away.
I've had clients say that to me all the time. It's really sad that it took me calling you for me to get my car fixed.
Yeah.
They finally took it serious. We have one manufacturer now where our clients' cars are just sitting in the shop for months and months and months. The dealers won't call them back. I can't get updates from the manufacturer. The
Mm.
dealers aren't calling the manufacturers back. Their cars are just sitting there for months at a time. And then the biggest problem is you're not getting a loaner, or you getting a loaner on your own and you have thousands and thousands of dollars of rental fees that you can't, no one can afford to do that. So with cars especially, now normally a motorcycle isn't your only means of transportation, so hopefully you have a car, but even if a motorcycle is the same situation, your transportation for your job is sitting in the shop and no one cares.
And let me just ask you a question about warranties. So, for take a just a for instance, right? Harley Davidson comes with a 2-year warranty when you buy the motorcycle, but you can also get something known as an extended service warranty. I think it is. I think it's an ESW. I don't know what they call it,
Right.
um, but it's extended. So if the warranty is extended by you paying and essentially signing another contract, will the lemon law then follow as well? Oh, I guess it doesn't follow because it has to be 18 months, did you say?
18 months, 24,000. The catch with most extended warranties are, or the difference between a factory warranty and extended warranty is, under the factory warranty, there's a promise to repair. Under an extended warranty, there's a promise to pay. So as long as they're paying for the parts that say that they should pay for, you can't really sue them if it only had an extended warranty. It's a little tricky.
Hmm.
We'll still do it. Is, for instance, if you bought a Ford and bought a Ford extended warranty, we still try to get them on it, but it's not as easy of a case as it is under the manufacturer's warranty.
Right, right. A lot of people also come to me and they, all right, I'm going to say that they're jealous of my motorcycle, okay, because I love my motorcycle, right? But it's a 24. But they'll say, look, I just got a motorcycle and, I've been riding it for 2 or 3 months and the paint is already chipping. I'm not happy with the paint. And, I understand because I love my motorcycle. I don't want any marks on this thing.
Sure.
It's a little bitty mark, that they have on there. But what if there's a problem with the paint? Does that fall under the lemon law?
So paint, it depends. I mean, if the whole bike needs to be repainted, so that could be considered a substantial impairment to the value of it. So sure, paint can. Same with cars. If you have to have, half of your car repainted, obviously that's going to lower the value of it. So it could be a substantial impairment. We have clients who have come to us there with like little pin marks. That obviously is not going to get to that level of substantial impairment. Could it be a breach of warranty case? Yes. But are you going to get lemon for that? I would say no.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to be pretty
Wow.
significant.
Yeah, yeah, this is really interesting stuff because, I mean, on one hand, I could see it's designed to, really help out the consumer against these big manufacturers, but it also seems to be very specific. Like they're not going to just let you be unhappy with something. I don't like the way this looks or something like that, and, use the law, against the big manufacturers either. So it seems to be like very specific, but also very powerful.
Yeah, there's this again, most clients don't understand. They'll say, "Well, my radio doesn't work," and I have to explain them. Unfortunately, that's not going to get you a lemon law buyback. It's just not going to rise to the level of substantial impairment.
Yeah.
Courts don't find that since your radio shuts off, you can't, that they should have to take the car back, because essentially you're saying this vehicle is so dangerous or defective, it should be taken off the road and
Yeah.
not put back on the road till they can fix it,
Wow. Yeah.
which isn't going to happen for minor issues.
Well, I mean, you're obviously incredibly articulate on this whole thing, and it's clear that you're doing it as long as you are. And you've helped out so many people, and you sound like you have a really solid firm there because a lot of the clients come to you, which is amazing.
Yes,
So
yes.
I just want to repeat, just in case people missed one part of how to get in touch with you, in case somebody needs you out there, how do we get to you?
So either website lemonlaw.com or 800 number 1-800-LEMON-LAW.
Wow, how easy is that to remember? I mean, lemonlaw.com, 1-800-LEMON-LAW. So if you can't remember these things, don't worry about the lemon law and get to your closest doctor. You know, um, but definitely look, if you need a lemon lawyer, get in touch with Jackie. She is the person, okay? All you people like just dissatisfied or you don't like the fact that they're taking so long with your bike. So get to Jackie. Get to Jackie, okay? And it's very easy to do. Lemonlaw.com or 1-800-LEMON-LAW. Wow, that's just incredible. So I think that's all the time we're going to have for this episode, but really interesting stuff. And I'm really happy that you came on and shared your time and all this knowledge because a lot of people have been asking me. And thankfully, we're talking to an expert on lemon law, which is not me. I'm the accident guy in case anybody is out there. Ridingcounsel.com. Remember to like, subscribe, share. But in the meantime, Jackie, I really appreciate it. And we're going to have to wrap up this episode. And hopefully, we'll have you back on if we get some other specific questions. If anybody wants to make a comment, do so all down here. Okay. I answer every single comment, every single call. And, I can either get them to Jackie or we can make a whole new episode. But thanks a lot, Jackie, for hanging with us and being so helpful. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Richard. Have a good day.
You too. And that's a wrap for this episode of Riding Counsel with Richard Jaffe. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the ride, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your fellow riders. Until next time, keep the rubber side down and ride safe.